That's perfect.
Thank you guys. And then also this is Cuddy. He's part of the class too, but his people are on vacation this week, so he's here for boarding. So we're gonna take him to the first class, and then they'll be joining the rest of the class.
This is a super high level stimulus situation. Some dogs are going to struggle a little more than others. So the one thing I really want to stress is that, you know, like if this dog was being handled by his owners, I would say don't get discouraged if, let's say, he doesn't really get it as quick as other dogs. So Ruka's been through some training, you know, so she'll probably do better than other dogs that are a little more green, like Mason. Oh, I mean, it just is what it is. Everybody's here for, like, you know, we're all individually going through whatever we're going through.
Doesn't matter the level you're at.
Yeah, so none of this shit is gonna happen overnight. You're not, you know, and even after this class, basically the whole entire goal is to just equip you with strategy and things to continue working on moving forward, right? There's probably gonna be some immediate gratification, because once you start doing things differently, the dogs typically tend to catch on to these new patterns that we're creating for them. So just to build off of what Lexi was talking about, there's so much value in just being here in this particular situation. Sorry, I got a little thrown off there. Yeah, just being around each other. This is a completely controlled environment, and that in itself is worth the price of admission. And we're going to go through just tons of different things. Today, we really wanted to keep it simple, and we're going to just go over your simple engagement marker drill. This dog right here, like for him, it's just a massive thing for him to be not losing his mind and going all over the place. And basically all it is I'm gonna, with him specifically, if he's not paying attention to me, I do a lot of backpedaling, right? So like he's gonna get disconnected to me, and my goal is to get him to come back to me, right? And if my verbals and talking to him isn't gonna help, I'm gonna use my leash, which is, in my opinion, the best dog training tool in the game. And I'm going to suggest that I prefer him, yes, I prefer him to follow me, right? So we're around we're around a bunch of other dogs. There's going to be distractions in that. So with Fluffy, what was his name again? Muffin. With Muffin, that's precisely all we're going to be doing right now. And I wanted everybody to give each other enough space, which it looks like we have. Looks like Lexi's already on the mark over here, which is basically, instead of allowing these dogs to fixate on everything that's happening around them right now, let's get them like engaged and paying attention to us. So for example, I wanted to use Cuddy as a demonstration because he's the greenest dog that I have on my property right now. So as soon as he does the right, yes! So I'm forcing the engagement with him because I can't get his engagement just by calling him. So I'm basically taking a step back. There's going to be tension. Yeah, almost, right? Yes, good, right? So we're getting the engagement, and then we're marking the fact that he made the right choice to pay attention again. So you could take a couple of steps. You'll see the dog become disconnected to you, like this, and then you take steps back, apply a little bit of pressure. He's gonna try to be a super dick, but I'm not gonna let up, right? Yes, and then I'll give him a piece of food for doing the right thing, right? So that's, you wanna.
Everybody have treats? Okay. If not, it's okay. I can share some, but
Good, yes.
I wanted to note too, like Muffin here, sometimes if they're too overstimulated or too distracted or too fearful or too whatever, they're not even going to take the treats out of your hand at this stage. So just put it away and do your best to try to keep them engaged with you and use affection as a reward instead. Some dogs work really well for toys, more so than treats.
Nope. Nice. Yeah, this is going to be lots of growing pains. See how everybody's working with something. Nope.
She's going to get nice and dirty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and she's also going to get extremely tired from this.
Yeah, this is so mentally draining for her right
Yeah.
now. Figuring
So
out how the hell to handle this and what I want from her. So
perfect. Good job over there.
as a part of the training process that you guys will learn through all of our exercises. Good. Anytime you want to change a behavior, it should always be in 3 parts. It should be a correction, and then show them what you want, or wait for what you want. So in this case, I'm correcting the barking. I'm waiting for her to And then the third part is rewarding when they're doing what you want them to do. It's very important to make sure you reward them just as much as you correct them, right? Because it sucks when everyone is told what not to do all the time, but not what to do instead, and not being told when they're doing something good. You want them to be motivated to work with you. Good.
Yeah, so her case is, I mean, like how we're gonna handle her is probably a little different than a dog that's not really necessarily losing its shit, right? So I'm just literally, just to keep it very basic and simple for this drill, get the dog's attention, start walking a couple steps, and as soon as you realize they're not on you, you take a step back. Go ahead and give the dog back, babe, so they can start working this.
So just try your best, because she's not taking treats at this point. She might from you, but
And
you're engaged with her enough to try to get her to follow you and stay focused on you.
yeah.
If she gets too yelpy, don't be afraid to give her a little correction, a little yank.
So all I want you to do right now too, on top of giving corrections and, you know, pull that leash out of her mouth if she's biting it, be like, nope, kind of make it suck for her to bite the leash, you know, give it a little pop. Cause like, you know, when you put, like, I wouldn't like that either, you know? So for this dog, I would just start, have him do direction changes.
Okay.
So that's what we should do right now. Just, everybody give each other some space, and we're just gonna do some directional changes, right? Get the dog in a follower state of mind. Just like this. Beautiful. As soon as it becomes yes.
Right by your side or
Hey.
anything at this stage.
Hey.
Just have them
Good.
try to follow you and immediately like turn around, go the other way, make sharp right turns, make
Good.
sharp left turns. If they're not following you, they're, you know, gonna get self-correction with the leash and they'll start paying attention and following you because that doesn't feel good.
And if your dog will like take food and is continuously to stay interested in it, even around all these distractions, I like to put the food right in the middle of my hand like this, put it to the face, get the dog super engaged. Don't really necessarily give it to the dog yet, because this dog very well knows there's a lot going on around him, but yet here he is still engaged with me on this piece of food. I'll stop. Good. Then I'll give him a piece, and then I'll start again. I'll do figure eights just to keep the dog guessing. Good. Perfect.
Don't be afraid to look like an idiot. Just
Yeah.
randomly changing directions. You can even change your speed.
If you
Go super slow.
if you need to just copy what I'm doing here
Yeah.
as a way to be successful, sit.
You want to keep them
Good.
guessing. The
Yep.
idea is to get them to start really
Good.
paying attention to your footwork so that they just start following you. Ideally, you don't want any tension on the leash at any
Yeah.
point.
Good job, Jono. That was nice. The back
Reward them. Yeah, reward them.
the back pedal the back
Keep
pedaling.
walking, just keep walking. Keep faster.
I'm recording all of this so I can repurpose this shit and put it on the thing later. The reason for backpedaling is because it's a really enticing thing, and dogs have prey drive, so when they see something moving, they have the tendency to go towards that thing. And one of our main goals is to be the most interesting person in the room, or in this case, on my property here. And so backpedaling like this, getting down on that level and putting some food out there, you know, it's really engaging. You know, so the more you get into it, the probably better result. Hey, yes, good. The better the result. And this may seem like there's not a whole lot going on, but for a dog like this with as minimal of experience as he has, he's surrounded by shit right now that he's never been surrounded by. So just to have him, you okay, bud? Okay. Just to have him paying attention to me and following me in this particular environment, it's just an absolute victory. Massive. Good. Good. Awesome. That looks good, you guys. Following you like a legend. Now, in the event that he hunkers down and wants to stop walking, I just keep going, and like just suggest through using your leash, or you know, if he's hunkering down and like really being a dick, then I just keep light pressure on it, like yes. And then when it releases, you're like, that's what I want, bro. And if he's not taking food, all good. If he's taking food, that's when you're gonna reward. As soon as the leash goes from that to drape, yeah, dude. So that's pressure release work. That's how you're gonna get the dog to follow you without having to get all frustrated, or, you know, really understanding that you're leading this. There's not a whole lot of negotiations involved in it, right? So our goal is to do this Like, for example, the best time to do this stuff is first time out into the world when there's a lot of excitement going on. Yes, right there. And you mark him coming towards you, give him some food. Good. You want to let him know that he's doing the good job with some verbal, yes, dog, you know, or whatever you say. But if you want to be clear and precise, then you could just use like good. Ready? Good. Yes, good. You could use yes too. Actually, I use yes with an untrained dog because yes is an in motion marker for yes, you've done your job, come get your food. Or yes, like it's like a celebration because you don't do this very frequently, and I'm actually having a big celebration about it. So it's like, yes, dude. And then we have good markers, which is more stationary. So like sit, good. So that would be like a stationary. He sat for however long, yes, boom, I release him. So I use yes more like a release, come get your food, or yes, like, dude, you're doing it type of thing. So we wanted to do this first because we wanted to get the dogs engaged with you, kind of get the dog into a more of a follower state of mind. See, there's no negotiations. This guy right here has been absolutely walking all over his people. I'll cut this out because I don't want them to feel bad. But this dog has been walking all over his people, and I could just tell by how much he just tries to call the shots. The days of them calling the shots are completely over. You know what I mean? Like it's probably going to be a little bit of a rude awakening for a couple of the dogs, but it is what it is. Incoming.
She's pretty green too.
Yeah, she's super green. Come on. No. So in the event that you have a reactive dog or a dog that's really struggling, it's very rare that I'll ask that dog to sit still, you know. If the dog starts to get a little over aroused, I'm certainly going to keep the ball game, seems to be doing okay with a little bit more distance right now, which is awesome. Beautiful. And then, yeah, so we just do these directional changes until the dog starts to follow without you having to really, you know, give too many corrections.
Ideally, if you're starting this for the very first time today, it's normally done like indoors. This is really, really challenging for a dog new to this with a lot of other dogs.
Yeah, so typically we're going to start this type of stuff with nothing. Nope. She's pulling it out of him. No. Good boy. This dog's gonna sleep like an absolute legend.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to bring her out too. Don't feel bad for putting her back in her crate.
Good. So this is now that we've kind of got this guy, we give him the idea that he ain't gonna be calling the shots, and I like to particularly use my body for shit. You know, like I'm never gonna lose my cool and get frustrated and start yelling or anything. I literally just suggest what I want by throwing my body around, by changing directions, by marking the things and rewarding the things that I do like, but certainly letting him know that becoming disconnected with me, it's not what we want. We want him to continue to voluntarily follow me. Hey, yes, dude. Just like that, absolutely phenomenal.
So if you're using treats for engagement exercises, make sure
Sit.
you're holding it in a way that they can, like,
Good.
you know, try to get the treat, sniff it, lick it.
Yeah, like this. I put it in my hand like this, put it to the nose, and I put my thumb over the top of it so that they can smell it, right? They'd be able to smell it, but they can't necessarily get it. And then I could lure the dog into anything that I want.
I'm going to say good and almost simultaneously.
Come on. Sit. Yes. He's funny, this guy.
What we're doing with that
I like him. You guys like him? Hey.
Because eventually you want to phase out
Brick.
the treats. Otherwise we're going to be carrying around treats forever their whole life in order for them to listen. Nobody wants that. We want reliable behavior with or without treats eventually. No, no. Yes.
All right. So we're going to pretend that this is their first time out into the world. You just walked out of your house, and now we're going to go on a walk. But the thing is, because we're going to try to just keep it simple with just the walk today. And before we ever enter the walk at all,
Engage with me.
because if we don't do this type of shit first, the dog is going to be too distracted by all the competing motivators and stuff. So we want to get the dog to follow us first, and then we could start to walk. And it's likely going to be 10 times more peaceful because you've already allowed the dog to sort of healthily get out their fucking initial excitement, you know? A lot of people just exit the house, go straight into the walk, and the dog is just like, what? But what they don't understand is they could be productive in a way to slow the dog down by just switching directions, getting the dog, yeah, dude, that's it. So you become sort of the nucleus, the center of the dog's attention. Good. And we wanted to do a pack walk today. We want to just get you guys going on this shit. Get you the basic understanding of the engagement marker thing, the directional changes. All right. So Myra, every time, now that way. Yep. Now turn left. Yep. Now turn left. Good. Keep going. Good. Left again. On the same side. Don't let her keep switching. You want to keep her on the same side that you want. Switch again. So every single time she passes you, you're going to have an answer for that. Whether it be a little leash correction as she's passing you, or whether it be a directional change. So there's going to be two options for us. But she's not going to get away with just continuing to pass you and dictate the speed of the walk. There's going to be a consequence for every single time that she thinks she's just going to run the show now. So go ahead and turn left and just start walking. Beautiful. Keep on going. Nice. Keep her on the same side. Keep cruising. Left. Keep walking. Keep going. Who cares about the stick? Just keep going. Magnificent. Keep going. Beautiful.
Does anyone have any questions?
Nice. You. Is this thing still recording?